We hear little now about the protests in Iran. The crackdown was brutal, the deadliest, many say, in modern history. Some estimates are putting the death toll at over 30,000. As one observer put it, this is what happens when those who have nothing to lose go up against people with power who have everything to lose. Kyle Matthews is with the Montreal Institute for Global Security. Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
So, Kyle, Iran has seen protests before. This one was very different, least of all the death toll. Over 30,000 people, is that possible?
I think it is possible. I think, what we've seen is that the Iranian regime is fighting for survival. It's been weakened by Israel. It's been weakened by the U.S. attacks on it. And we've seen these protests come out since December 28th, 2025. They've occurred in all these cities across the country. And the regime feels that the Islamic revolution that it brought forward 47 years ago today is actually at the brink of its life cycle.
So what happens now? I mean, we're not hearing about the protests right now, but as observers say, I mean, these are people who took to the streets because they have nothing to lose. Their concerns have not been addressed. How long do you think the government can maintain control?
Well, the sad part about this whole story is that the U.S. President Donald Trump said he was going to have their backs and kind of egged on the protesters, thinking that the U.S. would take action. There have been movement of U.S. naval forces into the area with rumors that perhaps another aircraft carrier is coming. So there's enormous pressure that the U.S. might strike the Iranian authorities that could weaken it. But we don't really know what's going to happen for the protesters. The tens of thousands who have died. Just today, we found out that the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize winner, Mohammadi, has been thrown in prison again and tortured, and she's in very bad shape. So it shows us what the regime will do just to stay in power.
Some protesters are calling for the return of Reza Pahlavi, that he is the exiled son of Iran's last Shah. Is that a possibility?
I think anything's possible. I mean, the thing about this theocratic government is that they haven't allowed any political opposition to form. So if the government does fall, who's going to fill the void? Will it be from that same regime, or will it be from an external force that has some kind of approval, or at least people won't think as being as brutal as what they have now? But we just don't know. But that is, it seems that there are voices claiming that could be an easy transition towards this particular group.
And what about the international community, Kyle? It seems divided over what to do.
The international community is very divided. The Transatlantic Alliance, NATO, Canada, we're all dealing with the Trump administration, worried about war in Ukraine and our own sovereignty. We have China that's building up its military force, so we're also occupied with that. So is Japan and other countries. So the Middle East is not getting the attention that it needs, and there's also really no easy answers of what you can do to protect Iranians, but also dealing with a very vicious regime.
Kyle, some people have made comparisons to what happened in China's Tiananmen Square in 1989, or the killings in Syria in 1982. These were protests where thousands of people died, but were there any consequences?
Well, there were. I mean, the violence that we saw in Syria that led to a civil war, which is a fear of what could happen to Iran, led to a decade of violence, millions displaced. The Tiananmen massacre was quickly shut down, and no one really talks about it anymore. At least the Chinese regime doesn't allow people. So, but I feel this is different. I feel that the Iranian regime really is weakened. It's unpopular. The economy is in a disaster. So this is one regime that could fall quickly like a house of cards.
Okay. Thank you very much for this, Kyle.
Thank you.